If you've been poking around watching videos on inventing on YouTube, then you've most likely heard someone at some point say that inventors often make the mistake of either over-inventing or under-inventing their product. And that may have been confusing for you. So today I'd like to explain what it means and why it matters. Hi, Lloyd here with more tips, tricks, and strategies to help you accelerate your invention licensing business. If you're new here or a returning visitor, welcome. If you like this video, please tell YouTube by hitting those like and subscribe buttons. It's a free way to support me doing this. And if you want more like this, smash that notification bell to be the first to know whenever I post a new video. If you want to invent products that not only get licensed but sell through at the stores, it's important to understand both the customer's wants and needs as well as the companies that you want to license to. Most first-time inventors have never manufactured anything, so it's easy to understand why they may miss these factors when inventing their products. So, if this is you, don't feel bad, you're not alone. There are basically two things that a company needs to know in order to make a good business decision to license your product. Will it sell, and is it profitable? To answer this, they need to evaluate the customer demand and the manufacturability. In other words, can it be made and at what cost? That means that you have to solve a problem that is a big enough pain for their customers and that it has to be or have a perceived value that allows them to mark it up enough to be profitable. So let's break these two factors down so that you can bake it into your recipe for success. I'll begin with your manufacturing considerations. You need to answer the question, can it be made? Yes, believe it or not everything can be made. You can draw anything, but that doesn't mean that it can be actually manufactured. I can do a 3D animation of me flying, but it doesn't mean that I can fly. Also, maybe you've learned that you can 3D print something, but similarly, even though you can 3D print, it doesn't mean that you can manufacture it at scale. A 3D printer works very differently than a manufacturing process. You can actually make something on a 3D printer that cannot be made at traditional factories. So make sure that you're confident that it can be manufactured at scale. If it can be made at scale, it must be made at a cost that will allow the company to mark it up enough to be profitable. I did this video on cost of goods if you'd like to learn more about how to estimate what it's going to cost to make your product. But telling a company the estimated cost of goods allows them to quickly understand the profitability. This is why I really encourage you to have an estimated cost of goods on your sell sheet. And the second factor in their consideration to license is whether your solution addresses a big enough pain point for their customers. But how do you demonstrate that your product is better enough in your pitch? Well, when you present your sell sheet, you will have a much higher probability of success if you effectively show them a very meaningful benefit that addresses a dramatic difference from everything else and give them a real reason to believe that it'll work. Last week I did this video so you can catch more on how to evaluate that meaningful difference, but it all boils down to framing your message on the sell sheet all around the one, maybe two possible meaningful benefits about your product. Most inventors feel the need to embellish this. Don't make this mistake. One simple improvement that dramatically improves a user's experience is enough to get customers to make the switch. And it's your job to show that off to the companies that you pitch. Your marketing message should be hyper-focused on an overt benefit. That means that literally all of your pictures, the product description, everything about the product zooms in on that overt benefit. Let me illustrate with my first product, the French Twister. It did one thing really well. It made fashioning the popular style of a French twist fast and easy to do at home. So we said it like this: no more salons, the French Twister is elegance made easy. Bobby sticks made it possible for women who love chopsticks but struggled with how to use them and get them in and out of the hair. I pitched it like this: Bobby sticks is the first tool that works like bobby pins and looks like chopsticks. Can you see how that added value by explaining that you're getting something that you want, the outcome that you're looking for, which is to use chopsticks, without the hassles because it's as easy as putting a bobby pin in your hair? which everyone knows how to do. Okay, I have one more for you, weave and wave rollers. The unique selling proposition was no damage soft roller crimpers, followed by share hair while you sleep. Do you see how I was not trying to be all things to all people? I knew exactly what the product did and who it would benefit most with one simple overt benefit statement that got licensing deals done. When you present your product with the right message, that message will be memorable and repeatable, which in turn helps the marketing and the sales departments do all of their jobs with the packaging, getting it into stores, and then that message carries over to the customer, giving them a fast message that makes them want to buy. Listen, it happened to me and it will likely happen to you if it hasn't already. But when you start showing your product to friends, family, even engineers, etc., at some point you will probably get advice that sounds something like, you know what else you should do is, fill in the blank. If you're not careful, it will be very tempting to keep adding features to your product, thinking with the best of intentions that you're improving it. But be careful, the over-engineering trap can get you. If this happens, just go back to your original mission and ask yourself, does this extra feature really solve the original problem that I set out to solve? Does it improve on my solution, or does it just complicate it? Studies show that your probability for success is diminished with more than 2 benefits. So think hard about whether it's worth the extra bells and whistles. I know it's scary when you have a dream of licensing and don't have the conviction that your product should be licensed in the first place. But if you follow the rules for validating your product, you should be confident in your meaningful point of difference and therefore pitch it with authority. If you'd like to learn more or are stuck and confused about what to do next on your invention journey, please book a free call using the link below or drop your questions in the comments below. I read and answer every one of them. And don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. It's a free way to support me. Dare to dream and imagine what's possible when powered by innovation.